Ever wondered if the bond you share with your mother is affecting your marriage? Well, you're not alone. It's a delicate dance, managing the relationships with the two most important women in your life, your wife and your mother. But sometimes, the lines can blur, and you might find yourself in what we call the mama's boy territory. So what does being a mama's boy really mean? In a nutshell, it's when a man holds his mother in such high regard that it affects his romantic relationships. It's when his mother's opinions, needs, and desires take precedence over those of his partner. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with loving your mother, but when that love starts to overshadow your commitment to your wife, that's when things can get tricky. Take John for example. John is a self-confessed mama's boy. He's a successful businessman, married for 12 years with 2 beautiful children. John's mother played a pivotal role in his upbringing, and he deeply values her counsel. However, this high regard for his mother began to impact his marriage when he started involving her in every decision, big or small, from choosing their vacation spot to deciding on their children's school. John's wife started feeling sidelined, her opinions undervalued. It's not that John didn't love his wife, but his constant need for his mother's approval was creating an imbalance in their relationship. This, my friends, is the mama's boy dilemma. The love for a mother is unquestionable, it is pure and profound. But when it starts to encroach upon the sanctity of a marital relationship, it's time to reassess. It's time to understand that while the bond with your mother is irreplaceable, your wife deserves an equal place in your life, not shadowed by any other relationship. The love for a mother is unquestionable, but the balance in a marital relationship is equally important. How can being a mama's boy affect your marriage? What are the practical implications? These are questions that merit profound contemplation. Being a mama's boy, a man who deeply cherishes his mother, may initially seem harmless. However, when this affection crosses the line and begins to interfere with the marital relationship, it can create a ripple effect of challenges. One of the most prominent effects is conflict. Imagine a situation where a husband consistently prioritizes his mother's opinions over his wife's. This can breed resentment, leading to frequent arguments and disagreements. The wife may feel unheard or devalued, and the husband, caught in the middle, may feel torn between the two most important women in his life. Another effect is decreased intimacy. If a man continually runs to his mother for advice and comfort, it can leave his wife feeling sidelined. A wife may feel less connected to her husband, knowing that he confides in his mother first. This can create an emotional distance, reducing the intimacy that is vital for a healthy marriage. Let's consider a case study to bring these effects to life. Meet John and Lisa. John, a self-proclaimed mama's boy, often consults his mother before making any significant decisions, even those directly affecting his marriage. Lisa, his wife, feels overlooked and underappreciated. Their home is filled with tension, and their relationship lacks the warmth and closeness it once had. This strain on their relationship is another significant effect of being a mama's boy. The constant strain can lead to emotional exhaustion, making it hard for the couple to find joy in their relationship. In John and Lisa's case, the strain has begun to take its toll, leaving them both feeling emotionally drained and less committed to working through their issues. The imbalance in priorities can lead to a rocky marital journey, but there are ways to handle it. It's important to remember that while it's commendable to honor one's parents, it's equally vital to respect and value the feelings of your spouse. After all, marriage is about two people coming together as one, each deserving of equal respect, love, and consideration. What does the wife feel when she is married to a mama's boy? Imagine living in the shadow of a woman who has known your husband longer, and perhaps better than you ever will. As a wife, you anticipate being the primary woman in your husband's life, the one he turns to for comfort, advice, and love. But for the wife of a mama's boy, the reality can be drastically different. Imagine feeling like you're in a constant competition, not with another lover, but with the woman who raised your husband. A competition for attention, for influence, for affection. You find yourself constantly compared, often unfavorably, to his mother. His favorite meals, the way he likes his clothes folded, his preferences, all dictated by his mother's influence. It's a strange and unsettling rivalry, isn't it? Neglect is another common sentiment. You may find that your husband is emotionally distant, as his emotional needs are predominantly met by his mother. He may turn to her first for advice or comfort, leaving you feeling sidelined and unimportant. You may even feel like a guest in your own home, as he defers to his mother's opinions, even in matters pertaining to your personal life. Let's consider a case study. Meet Jane, a wife who shares her experience. Jane tells us, "I felt like I was always second best. Whenever we had to make a decision, he would ask his mom first. Even when it came to naming our first child, he insisted on his mother's choice. It was like I was living with them instead of him living with me." Frustration is the other side of this coin. The sense of being unheard, the feeling of being secondary, the nagging doubt of whether you'll ever be his number one. It's a bitter pill to swallow. It's a challenge, a struggle, a battle you never signed up for. So, what does the wife feel when she is married to a mama's boy? A mix of competition, neglect, frustration, a cocktail of emotions that leaves her feeling less like a wife and more like the other woman in her husband's life. It's a challenge being the other woman in your husband's life, isn't it? Is there a way to strike a balance between your love for your mother and your commitment to your wife? Absolutely. It's not only possible, but it's also essential for a healthy, harmonious marriage. The key is understanding that being a devoted son and a dedicated husband are not mutually exclusive roles. You can, and should, be both. The first step towards achieving balance is setting boundaries. It's crucial to understand that your mother and your wife occupy different spaces in your life, and neither should encroach on the other's territory. For instance, while your mother may have been the primary woman in your life, once you're married, that role shifts to your wife. It doesn't mean you love your mother any less, but it does mean that your wife's needs, feelings, and opinions should take precedence. Open communication is another crucial component of maintaining balance. Be honest with your mother about the need for boundaries and with your wife about your love for your mother. It's essential to listen, understand, and validate their feelings. Prioritizing your marital relationship is central to achieving balance. Remember, your wife is your partner in life. She's the one you've chosen to build a future with. Ensuring she feels valued and cherished is your responsibility. Now let's consider a case study. Meet John. He was a classic mama's boy. His mother's opinions often overshadowed his wife's, creating tension in their marriage. John realized he needed to make a change. He started setting boundaries with his mother, communicating openly with his wife, and prioritizing their relationship. Over time, the dynamic improved. His wife felt heard and respected, and his mother understood her place in their lives. John's story illustrates that it's not about choosing between your mother and your wife, but about finding a way to maintain healthy relationships with both. It takes effort, understanding, and sometimes a bit of tough love. Striking a balance isn't easy, but it's crucial for a healthy and happy marriage. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. There are countless men who've navigated these complexities and emerged with stronger, more fulfilling relationships. It's your turn now. So, is being a mama's boy affecting your marriage? Do you need to make some changes? We've spent some time today exploring this sensitive topic, shedding light on the mama's boy syndrome and its potential impact on marriages. To reiterate, being a mama's boy isn't inherently a bad thing. A strong bond between a mother and her son can be a beautiful thing. However, when this relationship starts to overshadow the marital bond, that's when the problems begin. We've discussed the possible effects of this dynamic on a marriage. Strains caused by divided loyalties, conflict, and resentment can all stem from the imbalance of a husband prioritizing his mother over his wife. We've also heard from the wife's perspective, their feelings of being secondary, and the emotional toll it can take on them. But remember, it's not all doom and gloom. Achieving balance is key. It's about setting boundaries, communicating openly, and ensuring everyone's needs are respected. It's about leaving and cleaving, leaving your parents emotionally while still honoring them, and cleaving to your spouse to form a strong, unified partnership. Now it's time for some introspection. Reflect on your own behaviors and relationships. Are you allowing your relationship with your mother to negatively affect your marriage? Are you truly leaving and cleaving? Or are you still clinging to your mother's apron strings? Change is not easy, but it's necessary for growth. It's never too late to make adjustments, to redraw boundaries, to communicate more effectively, and to prioritize your spouse. Remember, your marriage is your primary relationship now. It's the relationship that needs your utmost care, attention, and respect. I encourage you to take what you've learned today and apply it. Discuss it with your spouse or even your mother. This may be the first step towards improving your marriage and building a stronger, more balanced relationship with your mother. Remember, it's never too late to make a change for the betterment of your marriage.